Hi everyone. I just wanted to pop on here to answer a few questions. So a lot of my clients ask me, when do I do INKLESS scar revision and why, as opposed to camouflage scar revision? So it's a great question and I have the answer. Prior to camouflaging anybody, the skin needs to be nice and flat and flush, without bumps, without dents, without divots, so that my tattoo machine is able to implant the pigment evenly and equally. Just like if you have, if you're about to paint a wall and you need to use some putty and sand it so it gets nice and flat, you're priming that wall for a final result that's much better because of the nice flat surface. So INKLESS is ideal in two situations. One of them is when the skin is textured, and the other one is if the skin is colored. So if a skin has lots of texture, is bumpy, has a contracture scar, a little bit twisted, or a burn, self-harm scars sometimes have a lot of texture to them. Tummy tucks have texture, especially along the edges. Breast reconstruction often has texture underneath the area. So those types of scars are ideal as stretch marks that are white, wide, but have a bit of texture. Those types of scars are ideal to have a INKLESS session done first. We let that heal, typically 6 weeks. If it's a client that might hyperpigment or is prone to hyperpigmentation, we may have to wait 12 weeks to see the final result. At that point, I assess, I look, are the scars ready to accept pigment? Or more often than not, especially in stretch marks, the scar actually looks a lot better. Often, if they're wide stretch marks, they get narrower. And if they're white, they sometimes actually get color again. So part of the process is we do micro channeling, similar to micro needling. That's it. End of the day, micro needling. So we're causing little trauma to the skin, and part of the skin's natural response to trauma is part of its effort to rejuvenate the skin. The melanocytes in the skin are activated, which are what help to protect us from the sun. That's why when we're in the sun, instead of getting burnt, we get a suntan. Our skin goes darker. So that's a part of the process of the skin's healing and its protection. But that we can use our knowledge of that and use that as in an effort to actually get pigment back into a white scar, rather than having to resort to camouflage. Camouflage is great, but it has its place. If I can create a great result without using pigment, that's my go-to. It's not always the case. Sometimes just a matter of prepping the skin, and then we follow through with camouflage. Now, hyperpigmented scars are common in clients who have a little bit of a darker skin tone. So those clients, they tan really easy. That's because they have active melanocytes, and once their body sees the sun, they're protected, they get a nice tan, they go dark. Those clients, though, when they have a trauma to the skin or a cut, when it heals, it's often dark. So they can have dark stretch marks, dark scars, chicken pox scars that are dark, acne marks that are dark. So that type of scar requires INKLESS scar revision with a product that's dedicated solely for hyperpigmentation. So in our case, we use New Regen for scars for INKLESS and New Bright for hyperpigmented scars. So it contains ingredients in it that just help the skin to not hyperpigment during its process and during its healing phase. And wait to see what the results are. And going forward with each client, every case is individual. I decide whether to go the pigment route or continue with the INKLESS route. So I hope that clarifies something. Yeah, leave a comment below if you'd like to know more. Bye.